Hey guys, I'm the Burke and I do things. And towards the end of last year, I kind of started doing this series on my channel where I picked my top 5 products from a specific brand. I asked you guys on Instagram for some ideas of which brand I should do the top 5 of next. And I have landed with e.l.f. I have some products in front of me that we can talk about. I will say sometimes some brands are harder for me to do a top 5 of because I feel like I haven't tried enough from the brands to label myself as having tried 5 or more that I could really adequately do this for. However, e.l.f. I've tried a lot from, so I can very confidently say like these are 5 good products. So if that is something you're interested in seeing, then keep on watching. Let's go. I will say, no, that camo concealer is not in this video. I think it's way too drying and it's hard for me to blend out. However, I am very, very interested in the new hydrating concealer. You'll have to let me know if you've tried it yet. But I will have to say there is an honorable mention in this video. It's the blue eyeliner I'm wearing today. It was a very limited edition collection they did, and I'm not including this in my 5, but if it was available, it would have been in my 5. They did a collaboration last year with Jay Kissa, who is an influencer on YouTube here, and I did buy this eyeliner from her collab, and I just think it's a really quality drugstore blue liner, so it's been said. So first thing I want to talk about is the primer I used today. I had to include the putty primer. While I have tried tons and tons of primers from e.l.f., they're probably the first primers I really ever tried years and years and years ago and didn't like them. Had the blue hydrating one. I've had like the green color correcting. I've had the white pore minimizing one. None of those ever did anything, but this putty primer is so nice. Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but I put it here and here, little up here, little on my nose. And if you're wondering what I'm wearing on my face today, I'm wearing a little concealer with the Bare Minerals powder foundation. And I just think there's something about this texture. Like, I feel like I've barely even made a dent, but there's something about it that isn't like other pore filling primers I've used before that are like silicone-y and weird to rub in. Like this one, you don't need to pat this one. Let's see if I can, you can just rub it in and it feels right. Like it doesn't feel wrong and pilly. It just kind of fills in. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell the difference between the two sides of my hand, but it feels like soft and silky and it's really nice. I do have the Tatcha primer and I personally think that they're the exact same thing. Maybe I don't have like dramatic enough pores to be able to tell a real big difference, but I think it's fantastic. I know they came out with new versions this year. However, I'm not running to buy them because this thing is going to take me forever to go through the rate I go through these kind of things. So I'd much rather use up the original before I try a new one, but you'll have to let me know if you guys have tried like the luminous one. That one sounds really interesting. But yeah, I highly recommend this. I get why it was sold out for so long. I did see that they have like their like smaller size in a squeezy tube, and I'm like, not against that. So definitely love this thing. Okay, the next is the eyeshadow I am wearing today. It is just such a nice, easy, beautiful look. No thoughts involved. The new Classics palette is where it is at. Today I have a mixture of Truffle and Darling in my crease. I have a little bit of Earth on my lower lash line. I have a little Muse in the outer corner, and I mixed Glamour and Cosmo on my lid, and it looks like this. These eyeshadows, first of all, this color story is super easy for me to work with. Like normally a palette with this many colors, I get a little overwhelmed, but because everything's kind of so close together in shade, like it's easier for me to like mentally come up with something. It's very easy. The shadows are so long wearing. Like as far as drugstore shadows go, I think these are the longest wearing shadows I've ever used from a drugstore brand. And I've been nothing but impressed with this formula from e.l.f. And I'm super excited to see them coming out with products like this, because when lower end products step up their game like this, I feel like it makes other higher end brands panic, because why are people going to pay a lot of money for your products when you can get a palette like this for $14? Okay, now from e.l.f., I want to categorize one of my items as their tools, because e.l.f. has some of the best tools from the drugstore. And yes, this is more than one item, but e.l.f. tools are one of my favorite things from the brand, so why lie? Their black brush line is a line I've been talking about for so many years I don't even know. and I decided I would tell you what my favorites are from that line. So these are them. These are the brushes that I love the most from the black brush line. This one, the dirty one, is the pointed powder brush. I actually have 2 of these brushes. This is the brush I use for, I can use this for bronzer. I use this to set powder all over my face. Something about the shape of this, it works so perfectly. You can get in there. It's a fantastic brush. It's probably, of all the brushes, my favorite, but I also love these. This is their blush brush. So they have this brush and they also have an angled blush brush. I much prefer this one that also has the point. This is the one I used to put my blush on today. It's a really great shape. You also can use this for bronzing. You can use this to set under your eye. It's like, again, that pointed shape. It works so well. This is probably the oldest of all the brushes I have here. This is their highlighting brush. Again, I love, you can use this one for contour, you can use this for blush, you can use it for highlight, you can use it for under your eye. Like, a lot of these black brushes I find are so multifunctional. The last one I have here that I really love is the small tapered brush. This one is really good for under the eyes. This one's really good for highlight. This one's good for like touching up. Very, very good. The other brush I have here that I really love is the clear brush line, and this is called the 501. I bought this one because of Samantha Ravindal, and this is fantastic for cream products. I used this my entire vacation. I used it for cream bronzer. I used it for cream blush. You can use it for cream everything. Something about this duo fiber, if you can see, it has like the little duo fibers up there. It's great quality. It's a great shape. Highly recommend. And then there's their sponges, and their sponges are probably what stand out the most to me about their tools. So we have this shape and we have this shape. This is like a regular makeup sponge, really, really good quality, super soft, gets nice and big when you wet it. And then there's this one. This is the Total Face Sponge, I think it's called. Whatever this one is, the purple one, this one is a wet and dry sponge. So it works just as well dry as it does wet. And as someone who forgets to wet their sponges a lot, this is awesome. It gets huge if you wet it. I actually think this works better dry, but my favorite thing about this sponge, more so than this one, this, out of every sponge I've ever gotten, is the absolute easiest to clean. It is so much easier for me to get all the product out of this sponge than any other sponge I've ever tried. So out of all the tools I've just talked about, I would say this sponge is my absolute favorite. I believe their sponges retail for $5 or $6. You usually can get a pack for $10. They're very affordable, especially compared to the Beauty Blender. So that is how I feel. Okay, the next product is the blush I'm wearing today. I have talked about this tons on my channel. This is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush. I have the shade Always Rosy, and it's just a great formula. It has great pigmentation. It has great longevity. It is $6 for this huge pan. This pan is ginormous, and it is only $6. I have been super impressed with this. Again, the quality is so good, the price is so good. It's hard not to buy another, but again, I know my collection does not need another one of these, but I just think the quality in these are so great. Now, the last product is the product I have owned the longest from e.l.f. I didn't even pay for it because it was like a free thing that came with a purchase, and I think if you buy it, it's maybe $1 or $2. And guess what it is? It's the highlight that I am wearing right now. Do you see it? I've talked about this a ton on my channel. This is completely worn off, but this is their glow stick, and the shade I have this in is Pink Pearl Glow. This has seen better days, but it is literally just this stick of highlight. All I did say was I put some on my finger and I patted it out on my cheeks like this. But if you want to see what this thing looks like, you can, when I have all creams on my cheek, I just color this right on my face. Oh God, it's not hitting, it's hitting too much light. Do you see that? It's like $1. It might be $2. Or you might get it free with the purchase like I did. It's such an easy, creamy formula. And all I did was tap it right on. Nothing more. And I did it over powders. Like, I didn't even do it under the powders. I did it right over the powders. And this is how it looks. Trust me, it is not something I ever would have purchased, would have thought to purchase. And when I got it for free, I honestly didn't think anything of it. But I really do enjoy it quite a lot. Okay, so those were my top 5 favorites from e.l.f. You'll have to let me know what some of your favorites are. It was hard for me to narrow it down in some categories because there are really a lot of good products from e.l.f., but I feel like these are the 5 that stand out to me the most. let me know in the comments. And as usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter and my Instagram down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!